Hello, and welcome to Old Time Knits. This is episode 44. My name is Marie, and I'm coming to you from central New Hampshire. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Old Time Knits. This is my YouTube channel where I just talk all about all my love of all the fibery things, mostly knitting, sometimes crochet, and sometimes there's a little bit of spinning sprinkled in. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if this is not, then welcome back to everybody who continually supports me. I appreciate you all so much. If this sounds like something you would enjoy, then come on in and let's get started. Alrighty, I'm going to jump right in with finished objects. I'd like to apologize for my lighting situation this morning. Very doomy and gloomy here, and I am struggling to find a spot that has the correct light. So I hope this is okay, and I'm going to just go with it. All right, I'm going to start with finished objects, and my first finished object was a work in progress in my last episode, and this is the Banbridge Shawl. Oh, it's going to be hard to show. All right. Here we go. All right, this is a fingering weight shawl. It is a one skein project. It's actually a triangular shaped. Let me hold it the correct way so you can see it. With all this yummy texture on it. It was a fun knit. In hindsight, maybe a not so variegated yarn might have been a little bit better for it, but I love it just the same. I'm going to put it on for you here. Here I am getting dressed in front of the camera again. It's the hardest thing. Cute. Yeah, so yes, there you go. I like it. It's a shawlette shape, or size, which is really what I enjoy in a shawl mostly. For wearing purposes, I feel like they're way more versatile. So let me tell you about it. Did I say it was the Banbridge Shawl? It's by Brenda Brayfield. So this was done, again, using one skein of fingering weight. I used 81 grams on a US 5. 3.75 millimeter needle, and the yarn that I used was Polka Dot Creek. I don't have the ball band anymore, but this is her Mountain Berry colorway. Love it, speckled, so pretty. So this particular knit was one of my buddy projects, and my friend Sue and I have teamed up this year, and we have started doing projects together. In the last episode, we did the Ramona cardigan together. We are finding it's so much fun. We are in constant contact while doing the project. We happened to message on Instagram during the whole process. So fun. You kind of spur each other on, and you talk about yarn management, and if you think you're going to make it to the end, just all the things. So much fun. And so on that note, I'm going to talk about that now. I was going to wait till the end, but I thought it would be great fun if other people might like to join in on this. So I have opened a thread over on Ravelry, and there's details over there, but if you think you'd like to connect with somebody and work together on a project, if you go over there and read the details, you can post what you are into, whether it's knitting or crochet, even spinning, but if you posted some of your interests and that type of stuff, then others could come along and perhaps contact you, and maybe you can make a buddy connection. I will tell you, we are on our third buddy project. I think it's our third buddy project we are on, or maybe it's our fourth. And we are just loving it. It is so much fun, and it certainly is a great motivation factor. So anyway, there's details on the Ravelry page, and I will leave a link below to the Ravelry group so that you can see that. So I just thought it would be fun. You know, there's lots of people out there who don't have connections and who don't have people close to them. Sue and I are in the same state, but we are 3 hours apart easily. She's way up north on the Canadian border, and I'm more south central. So we are happy to be connected like that, and it's just so much fun. We have a lot of giggling going on in our messages. So anyway, that was the Banbridge Shawl. This would be also a nice gift knit for the Get Gifting make along, which I have also happening over on Ravelry, which I will give you more details a little later in the podcast about. So yeah, that was a great finished object. Also, I forgot to say what I'm wearing. It's pretty obvious to most people. This is the Love Note. I knit this a couple years ago. This was my first fingering mohair project, fingering and mohair held together project, and I absolutely loved this knit, and I love the fit of it. I'm not going to stand up because I'm crowded in here. But anyway, it was knit in Hue Loco Spun XL in the Thistle colorway, and the mohair was Sonder Yarn Company in the Boreal colorway. So it's a great color, it's a great fit, and I've made 2 of them. So if you haven't made this yet, and you know, you want a nice knit, it's really great. Top down yoke with, I think, raglan. I can't remember. It's been a while, but anyway, look it up if you haven't knit it yet. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. All right, on to other projects. And I had a viewer who keeps posting over in Ravelry about on the Get Gifting finished object page, socks, and she keeps saying to me that she can't stop knitting these. And so I decided to pop a pair on the needle, and these are the Indoorsy socks. It's just the real thrill about it all is, let me put one down, is they are done with fingering and mohair held together, which pretty much ends up at a DK weight. Mine I just did as a plain vanilla. The pattern, I will put a picture up here. The pattern shows them with some ribbing on them. I mean, you can pretty much do it any way you want, but this is a 48 stitch sock done on US 3.25 millimeter needle. And I don't have the ball band. I'm digging in stash. This is Bull & Vine Yarns. This is on her blitzed base. I do not know the color. I think it might have been one of her Christmas colors potentially, but it's a sock weight, merino nylon and stellina. I think it's the gold stellina. You can't really see the sparkle in the actual sock all that much, but that's okay. I'm just working through some of these. You can sort of see it. I'm just working through some of these things in my stash. And then the mohair I used was Knitting for Olive. And this is their 70% mohair, 30% silk. This is a 25 gram ball, and it's 225 meters. And this is all I had left. So you can get away with just a 25 gram ball of mohair with a pair of socks. These are a 48 stitch sock, and these are a women's 11. So that's a pretty good size sock out of your mohair. So it's kind of cool to know that you only need one of these smaller 25 grams to get through it. This is the dusty sea green color. And when you hold things together, it really changes how they look. So basic sock, 15 rounds of ribbing, 40 rounds on the cuff, heel flap and gusset, and then I don't know how many rounds on the foot for my big foot. I decided to make the first pair for me. So thank you to Cindy for constantly recommending these. She just kept posting finished objects over in the thread, and they were so pretty. And I said, all right, this lady's going crazy for this pattern. I'm on it. And also over at the Knit Chat Cafe on Tuesday nights, Noelle and Kelly are obsessed with adding mohair to their socks right now, and so they're just egging all of us on to carry on. So yeah, Indoorsy Socks by Sonder Yarn Company. I don't even know if I said that, but anyway, so that was another finished object, and then like everybody else who's on the bandwagon, I just kept going. All right, so this is my second pair of the Indoorsy socks. I'm going to put one down so I can chit chat about it. And this is, again, fingering weight and mohair. Can you see the little fluff at the top there? These are a gift. And I did 15 rounds of 2x2 or 1x1 ribbing, and I just did a basic broken rib stitch. I knit around and then knit one, purl one the next round, then knit around, knit one, purl one. I did not use a pattern. I usually don't have a pattern. 48 stitch count, heel flap and gusset, a woman's size 8 or so for these. So super fun when you add the mohair. Noelle just goes on and on about it. Kelly too, about how fun it is, and it truly is. So the yarn that I used for this one is Mandy's Makings, and this is in her sock weight, 75-25 fingering weight. And the color is called Spring Rainbows. Super cute. It's a pinky corally kind of a color, and I paired it with Knit Picks Aloft. I love this mohair. It's really a good one. It is where's the composition here? 72-28, and this is the oat colorway. And this is, again, 25 grams. This has a little bit more yardage, well, maybe not much, 260 yards. And this is all I had left from a 25 gram ball, because hers was this is a little bit smaller foot on this one. But so good to know that you can pair, and you can pair any mohair with any fingering weight and do these. And I just love the broken rib. It's one of my favorite things to knit. And I thought these came out really, really good. So yeah, so there's another gift checked off the box. Sweet. All right, so that's what, like 3. Let me just move some things around. Excuse me a minute. All right, next up, I gotta check my notes real quick here because I think I forgot something. I guess not. All right. Next up is, ooh. I'm sorry, I'm dropping everything and throwing things around. You guys don't care. All right, next up is another buddy project. Again, we've been buddying it up because it's just been so much fun. Well, I saw this on the Knit Chat Cafe. I'm getting into so much trouble with them over there. Noelle had done this, and this is the bucket bag, and it's by DeBrosse. So it's got just a handle that passes through. It is a crochet project. Make that, and then this handle just passes through here so that you can hook it on your arm. It's one of those great knitting bags. It was a very easy knit. I've said it before, I'm not a master crocheter. I'm still really, I consider myself a beginner, and I was able to handle this no problem, just single crochets and increases. So I thought it came out good. It was fun. Okay, so we are on, the pattern called for a 4mm crochet hook, which I think is a G. Pattern is by DeBrosse, DeBrosse, and I have done one of her other patterns. It was the Savant Beanie is the one I did with her. Anyway, I got sidetracked. The yarn is called Rewind. It's from Lion Brand. It's a tape style yarn, which I wasn't sure about. I didn't know if I would be able to handle crocheting with something like that, if it was going to bother my hands or not. It is, I don't know where the composition is. Oh, polyester, 70% polyester and 30% viscose. And this color is Willow. So anyway, I got mine from Amazon. I couldn't find any place to get it, so locally, so I got mine on Amazon, and it was very easy to work with. The only thing that I changed was I did go up a hook size because I felt like the 4mm was going to be a little too tight and a little too hard on my hands. I went up to a 5mm. I used a US H hook. It took no time at all to do this. So Sue and I did this together, and we had so much fun along the way. She is a much faster crocheter than I, so I I was hustling to keep up with her anyway. So we got through the first one, and this is the beauty of having a buddy. I said to her, what do you think if we did another one of these? Because it was so quick and it's just such a great gift. And so we did. And I love it. I love it. I chose the same yarn in a different color. And on this one, the modification that I did, this was from, I think Noelle suggested this in her, when she was talking about hers. I did a little bit less on the handle because I felt like the original handle was a little bit long. When you have it closed, it kind of hangs down here, as opposed to this one, which was a little bit more manageable. Also, look at the difference in my second one. It's a little bit smaller because I got a little bit more confident and was able to, you know, I don't know. Just second time around, and my gauge was probably a little bit better. I think on my first one, it was a 12 stitch gauge, and I think the pattern calls for 14 or something like that. Anyway, it is what it is, and I'm super happy with it. So this has a little bit shorter handle. You could still, you know, put it on your wrist if you wanted to, but it does open up quite large. And so you can fit a lot of yarn in here. So anyway, I was super happy that Sue said, yeah, let's do another one. It went very fast, and it was a fun knit. And then, of course, the second time around, you kind of know what you're doing, so it went even quicker. So the same yarn on that one, and the color is Olive U. So yeah, and I had quite a bit left. It's like a skein and a little more than a half, well, maybe half. So you need 2 skeins for it, but very economically priced. And easy peasy. So yeah, so that was another one that we buddied up and got off our plate. Okay, and then my final finished object. Another viewer recommended this in the comments section. Speaking of that, if you have pattern recommendations that you have made that have made great gifts, I encourage you to leave me a comment down below, because I love to go look up patterns and add them to my, gift list making. I'm always curious what people are knitting and what the patterns are. I love going look up. I get sucked down that big Ravelry rabbit hole a lot. All right. So anyway, I believe that this viewer said she made, I want to say she said she has made 4 of them. But anyway, here it is. It's just a simple cowl. This is called The Cooler Side of Warm, and it's by Espace Tricot. And it is just a simple cowl with a split along the side, which is so nice because when you put it on, it sits on either side of your neck, and it helps it fit and look and fall a little bit nicer. So, see the split? So I really like that. I just discovered that recently. I don't know how I discovered it, but I love it. So I've seen a lot of these now that I have jumped on the bandwagon. So this is a free pattern, and it uses a US 7 4.5 millimeter needle, and I thought I had 7s on. I thought I was on a 7, and I realistically looked, and it was on a US 8. So I had to do a little bit of yarn management. I made mine, that's where it was folded, this mark here. I had it all folded up. I didn't change anything as far as needle size. I kept it a US 8 all the way, but I had to do a little less length overall. These are sections, and I did less inches per sections and less on the ribbing. But this is a great knit, all just stockinette and ribbing. Again, and the only other modification I did was, and I looked at some projects on Ravelry, and people recommended this, is I did a slip stitch edge so that it would have a nice finish here. It doesn't say that in the pattern, but I opted to do that. So, and I used a fingering weight held double. I think it's a DK or a worsted weight. Anyway, again, I'm just trying to use up stash. So out of a 100-gram skein, this is all that I had left. So it's a good thing that I did some modification on it, because I would have run out of yarn if I hadn't cut down on the inches, which I knew I would, just looking at the size of the yarn. There was only 400 yards on this particular skein. And this yarn, this is not the correct color tag for this yarn, but it is, this is the information. It's yarnhuga.com, and I got this at, I think I got this at the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival. It is a yak silk merino. It's hand dyed, 60% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 20% silk. And I cannot remember what this color is, but it is just a navy color. Beautiful yarn, and the drape on this is crazy, like crazy. So it's so nice when you put it on to have it, not be stiff and fall into place, and have a little bit of drape so that it falls over your shoulder nicely. I think that this is just a great little easy peasy, quick on your needles, quick off your needles gift knit. So I highly recommend it, and I thank the viewer who recommended it to me. There's a lot of these have been made. I think there's a lot of projects on Ravelry. I always like to go look at the project pages that people have made. Gives you great ideas for different yarns to use. So another fingering weight out of stash. Yeah. All right, hold please. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to move on to my works in progress. I have 1, 2, 3 of them. And the first one I'm housing, and this has to be one of my all-time favorite smaller size bags. This is from a Stitchy Girl Studio. I do not know if she is still making bags or not. She was an Etsy shop that I found, and I believe she's Massachusetts based, so she was kind of local. All right, so I apparently have been sucking up all the inspiration from other podcasters. I have seen this particular project several times, and Kevin from Needles at the Ready podcast has made this hat several times, and every time he shows it, I think, oh, I should go look that up. And I have looked it up, and I actually had it in my Ravelry cart for quite a few months, and I decided to, their most recent podcast, he again showed another one, and I decided to just go for it. So here it is. It's very simple. This is I believe he calls it the Salish cap, and it is a 2x2 ribbed hat. And he uses 2 different fingering weight yarns, and the pattern does call for that for a mild effect, but I am just using 1 skein of fingering weight held double. And this is a gift for my husband for Christmas, because every year he needs a new hat. He just wears his hats to pieces. So what a great knit this is. It's so super stretchy, super squishy. It is a very easy knit. It's a good mindless knit. They call those, what do they call those? Palette cleansers. I have lost the tag. What is wrong with me? Just a minute. I have it. I am using a US 8 5mm needle, and the yarn that I'm using is here. Look at the colors in this. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. I tried to use this skein for a shawl, and it color blocked or pooled a lot, so I decided to use it for something else. This is Holly Press Fibers. She has beautiful skeins of yarn. She has an Etsy shop. I will link her down below. This is her Sheepish Sock Fingering. It's 75/25, and it's called Smells Like Elves. So yes, thank you to Kevin for recommending this and showing it. I bet he's made a half a dozen, if not more, of this particular hat. The designer is, I'm sorry, the pattern, Mary Pranica. I will make sure I put it on the screen so that you can see it. This is it. And you can make it either slouchy or not. Generally, Kevin doesn't make his slouchy, but it has a very long brim on it so that you can roll it up. So yeah, so that is finished object. I wish it was finished. That is work in progress number 1. I just cast this on a couple days ago, so it's a cruiser for sure. So yeah, it's a good way to use up some fingering weight as well. You could do it in DK or probably even a light worsted. So yeah, so that's that. All right, my next project is another buddy project. I get Sue into all kinds of trouble. The two of us are working diligently to get through some of the skeins that we have. Like everybody else, you know, you're working through your stash as much as we possibly can. So I've had this pattern in my library for a while, and I made Sue jump on the bandwagon so we could do it as a buddy project. And here it is. This is the Heddle Shawl by Joe Shaw, and it is an all over texture. It's really hard to show. All over texture. And all of this, of course, is going to, if I can get this to cooperate, block out, so it's going to be very lacy. It is a great pattern. It's a very engaging pattern, but it is not a memorizable repeat for me. I have to have the pattern in front of me and I have to have the row marked. So I would not recommend for a beginner, but it is a fun pattern to do, and we both have enjoyed it. So I am using that yarn again. This is that yarn Huga, and this is the correct color. It's the amber colorway. So it's a merino yak silk. So it's super flowy and drapey. And it is a triangular, I think she actually calls it a crescent shape. There's so many stitches on the needle, just shy of 400 stitches on the needle right now, and we have to do a picot bind off. The two of us are laughing and fretting all at the same time. It'll probably take us 3 days just to bind it off. We are on a US 6. I don't know, the 4mm needle. And yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It's just going to be beautiful when it's done. Oh, it's so pretty. And I think that it's going to get quite a bit larger upon blocking. So it would be a really nice gift knit, but it's not beginner friendly. And so I am currently on my last repeat, and I don't have all that much yarn left, so I hope I have enough to complete it. It's going to be close because I do have to do a picot bind off too. I think I have 4 more rows left on the final repeat and then the bind off. So hopefully it all goes well, but this is just such a lovely texture, and it's been good. So we cast this on about a week ago, and that's the beauty, again, of a buddy project, because, we chit-chat back and forth and, hey, I'm picking up the scarf today. What about you? Kind of stuff. It's just really been a fun thing. So, yeah. So that is number 2. And project number 3, I have in a tote bag. And this is Little Robin Cottage, whom I talk about often. I think this is the one where I couldn't find the tag on it. But anyway, it's got a really fun print on the inside of it, and her bags are always awesome. She's got a little D-ring here to hold your stitch markers or whatever. And pockets on the inside. So this project I have had in my library for a long time, and I was reluctant to cast it on. I'm in the middle of a row. never do that. Anyway, let's see if I can get it to show you. It's a cardigan. Okay, here it is. This is the coffee bean cardigan from Elizabeth Smith Knits, whom I love, and I knit a lot of her patterns. The Ramona that I just knit was her also. So the reason I was so reluctant to cast this on is because it's stripes, and I am not much for stripes. However, these are pretty muted. I had these skeins in my stash, and I just love the effect it has. I didn't want bright stripes or sharp contrasting, and I really feel like this is just perfect for me. So I will talk about it. I am on a US size 8 5mm needle. I did not get gauge. My gauge is 20 stitches, and it is 18 called for in the pattern. So I have a larger gauge, which would yield a smaller size. So I'm knitting a bigger size than what I would normally knit, and it seems like it's going to be okay. This is a top-down raglan, basic raglan, which I love, with 2-row stripes. And the yarn that I'm using, I have used plenty of times before. I am having ball band crisis. I swear to God that I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm so sorry. I do not have my ball bands with me. Anyway, I will tell. It's a yarn I've used before. It is Plymouth Yarns Sea Isle Cotton. I'll put it here so that you can see it written out. And it is, I think it's a 55% cotton, 45% wool, I think. And this is one of the colors. And this is Glacier Bay. And it's a blue and white marled. And then this is the other color. And it is Gloucester Gray. So the two of them, there's not much contrast, and I wanted it that way. I had 3 skeins of this and 2 of this in my stash, so this is my main color because you need a little bit more of the main color. And this yarn is fantastic. I have used it before and I have raved about it. A year later, I have my pajama cardigan that I made. It wears well, it washes well, it doesn't pill, it's not hot, and it knits beautifully. So again, I've got the blue for my main because it's going to be cuffs and rib and hem. Yeah. So not much else to say about it except that I'm super, super happy with how it's coming out. I love a raglan. I love how it makes the stripes do that. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to having that. So I made that, I'm making this as a summery version for the, springtime. Sometimes in the summer it gets cool at night and you need a sweater, and that will be perfect for it. So, all right, that is all of my works in progress. I do have one other thing, and it is spinning. I spun up, and it's gonna look so professional. Are you ready? Here it is. Look at I fit in the ball band. This is my spin. I'm ever evolving, ever learning. Love, love, love the colors in this. Look at this, it's crazy. So it's Lavender Loon, and it is 100% non-superwash Rambouillet, and it was 4 ounces of roving, and it's called Under the Halloween Moon. And so I have a little splotch of it that I kept. This is what it looked like, and this is what it spins up like. Crazy, right? So many colors. It was fabulous. It's fabulous. So I think that this is probably a DK weight. I really was striving for a fingering weight, but I don't know. It seems it's very sporadic and spotty in places. It's been a while since I've spun, so I felt like I was a little bit rusty, but the beauty of hand spun is it doesn't have to be perfect. And what a great color. So I myself was kind of thinking maybe some indoorsy socks. If I added mohair to this, it would be spectacular. So I don't know what I have for yardage. I have not figured that. I don't know why I didn't figure that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was fun, and sometimes it's fun to see the before and the after. So yeah, that was a great spinning project. All right, let me see what's next. I am going to talk about the Get Gifting Make Along and show you a few patterns that I have chosen for it. In addition to what I have already shown, like the indoorsy socks, the Salish cap, what else? The cooler side of warm cowl. Those are all great, quick, but lovely gift ideas. So the patterns I'm going to feature, and the first one is called, I do have a list in front of me, so bear with me. It is called Jill's Shawl, and it is by Lisa Overby. It is a free pattern on Ravelry and uses any DK yarn. This particular one used Drops Sky. I've never knit with drops. I really want to try any kind of drops. I haven't done that yet. If you have a particular drops yarn you like, let me know in the comments so I can check it out. Anyway, this is done on a US 7 4.5 millimeter needle, and it's again on DK weight, and they said 600 to 624 yards. So I believe, it's like 2 skeins of one color and 1 of the contrast, but I really like this. I think that the style of this is nice. It's, I think, a little bit more user-friendly, more of a scarf as opposed to a big bulky shawl, and seems like a relatively easy knit. So I like easy. When I'm doing gift knitting, I like easy. So, all right, that was my first pattern. And my second pattern is kind of a fun one I stumbled upon, and I'm hoping to make, and it is called Baker's Twine by Kathy. And it is a pot holder. It is done in a sport weight cotton yarn, held double, so you get the marled effect. It is on a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle, and the pattern says it's quick and uncomplicated. So a set of those would be so sweet. If I received those, I would be so happy. And it's got a cute little, I don't know if it's an I-cord loop on it, but I mean, you certainly could hook a piece of leather, or you could do anything for a handle on it. So I thought that was a great option as well. All right, sorry, I'm cruising through these. The next pattern is called the Chunky Monkey Beanie, and it's by Susie Knits. It's another free pattern done on a bulky weight yarn in the round on a US 13, which is a 9 millimeter. Talk about a quick knit. The beanie has a like deliberate, chunky, oversized look, which is so trendy and so the younger people are so into that look. It says it is a one size, but it has plenty of stretch to fit most adults. So I can tell you that my daughter-in-laws would love this beanie. Um, and yeah, you can put a pom-pom on it or you cannot. It's up to you. So I thought that was a nice, again, quick, but on a 13. Anyway, all right. And my final pattern is a crochet pattern. So in addition to the Bokit bag, which was just such a great, easy, what a cute gift that would be. I have found these little face scrubbies, and the pattern is by Sapphire Cameron. It is a free pattern again. It is on a G hook on a 4mm using DK yarn. And basically, you know, just a set of these, you know, tucked in a basket with some soap or whatever, face wash or whatever you decide to put in there, would be so sweet and a super quick knit. So, yeah. All right. I think that is all of that I have to talk about for the knitty content. I don't have anything future on the radar. I'm really anxious to get my Heddle shawl off of the needles so that Sue and I can find our next buddy project. Tag, you're it, Sue. All right, and in other chit-chatty stuff, I just wanted to, I keep forgetting to talk about this, and I made a note so I wouldn't forget again. You guys know I like to watch podcasts, and this one was a previous knitting podcast turned not knitting, but I have watched this person's journey the whole way, and I just love him. All right, so the podcast I'm talking about, it's not a knitting content. It is called Rewilding Jude. And he formerly had a yarn dyeing company called Stranded Dye Works. And he had a YouTube channel for that as well. He has quite a backstory, and you know, his whole story I watched with millions of other people evolve over his YouTube channel and now into his new one. So he bought a cottage in Scotland, and the scenery, his video skills are awesome. So it's all about him fixing this cottage up and repairing it and making it better and learning to build gardens and greenhouses and homesteading and just all of those things. And he is such a hoot to me because I have never seen a person take on challenges full bore like him and laugh at himself when it all goes wrong. Sometimes he falls in a ditch. Anyway, I get such a kick out of him. I thoroughly enjoy it. He posts weekly videos. So if you get a chance, check him out. Again, non-knitty, but I can truly appreciate his enthusiasm for life. So I will link him down below. And the other podcast, no particular reason for mentioning this one, except that I just love her. Is Leanne from the Knitty Stew. She is the sweetest thing, and she is genuinely cracks me up as well. She is a fearless go-getter, tackling all kinds of different knitting projects, and so warm and welcoming and so fun and friendly. And if you don't watch her, I highly recommend that you do. So hey, Leanne, if you're watching. All right, everybody, I think that is all I have going on. Again, if you know you have gift knitting ideas, or you have a specific yarn or anything, drop me a comment down below. I will answer you. I answer all my comments. I read everyone. Sometimes I read them more than once. I appreciate you all so, so much, and wish you well. I hope that spring is around the corner pretty soon, because I am ready for some sunshine. All right, everybody, take care. Great to sit with you. Great to visit with you. I hope you're enjoying life in general. Take care. See you the next time. Bye.